Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has taken another L after a Florida College Board has rejected his demands for censorship. Now, the College Board on Thursday said that it will not remove teachings on sexual orientation and gender identity from its advanced placement programs. The board issued its decision, in response to a letter from the Florida Department of Education in May, demanding a review of all AP courses to ensure compliance with state law. That request came at the same time Governor Ron DeSantis vowed to remove African American studies from state public schools. The College Board denounced that plan and added context and clarity to those courses, which again, a lot of people were angry about, obviously, and for good reason. Now, the department has ordered another review to assure that all AP courses, including pre-AP, complied with Florida's law banning instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity as a result of the so-called Don't Say Gay law. Now, the board responded to the order saying, quote, "We will not modify our courses to accommodate restrictions on teaching essential college-level topics." So understand, we're not talking about children. We're not talking about K through 12. And the reason I bring that up is because that was the justification for this at first. Okay, Republicans always start out by talking about, we're just doing it to protect the children. No, we're just protecting the children. When in reality, as soon as they ban it for K through 12, they then move on to ban things for adults. We've seen that in several states with gender-affirming care, banning it for minors, and then discussing and even in some cases putting forward legislation to ban it for adults as well. That's how it starts. They literally weaponize children to use against marginalized communities. But anyway, now we're talking about, again, 18-year-old adults who pay for a college education that are no longer going to be allowed by the government to get a portion of that education. Well, that sounds like censorship to me. Doesn't sound like freedom. It sounds like indoctrination. Weird. No, it also doesn't sound like, free speech or the marketplace of ideas. In fact, at the marketplace of ideas, conservative ideas, rather cheap, don't go for much. Not worth a whole lot. And we can see why. Now, the American Psychology Association had issued a statement in support of the College Board on Thursday after the decision. Understanding human sexuality is fundamental to psychology, and an advanced placement course that excludes the decades of science studying sexual orientation and gender identity would deprive students of knowledge they will need to succeed in their studies in high school and beyond. Arthur C. Evans Jr., CEO of the APA, said in a statement, "We applaud the College Board for standing up to the state of Florida and its unconscionable demand to censor an educational curriculum and tests that were designed by college faculty and experienced AP teachers who ensure that the course and exam reflect the state of the science and college-level expectations." Evans said that educators cannot teach psychology while excluding entire groups of people from the curriculum, and correctly called the law signed by DeSantis, quote, "another attempt to erase LGBTQ plus people." Well, again, correct. Understand that what DeSantis is doing is that he is leading a war against groups of people literally existing. And of course, he is going against facts, science, and reality in that war. Why? Well, that's in order to get the support of reactionaries. That's it. And that's what it's been about. Marginalizing people, discriminating against people in order to get political power. Now, DeSantis has also been pandering to racists as well. In fact, last week, DeSantis promised to rename Fort Liberty, yes, Fort Liberty, after a Confederate general named Braxton Bragg, who was a slave owner that fought against the United States of America. So he is replacing Liberty, Fort Liberty, with a traitor, with Fort Treason, basically. That's what it is. You're going from Fort Liberty to Fort Treason. Ron DeSantis. Not only that, but he also this week vetoed spending for a Black History Month celebration in Orlando and cut $200,000 for a festival celebrating Florida's Black music legacy. And last year, DeSantis vetoed a $1 million appropriation for Valencia College to create a film about the 1920 Ocho Election Day massacre, in which a white mob murdered dozens of black Floridians. So you see what he's doing, and he's erasing history and is celebrating literal traitors to the country. That's what's going on here. Okay? This is who he is. Not only is he destroying the state of Florida when it comes to business, when it comes to everything else, but, he's also trying to harm a generation of young people and attempting to keep them ignorant of reality. Look, I'm glad people are fighting back, but right now, the whole Florida government is owned by him and his cronies, and until that changes, I'm thinking that the situation in Florida is going to get worse before it gets better, if it ever gets better.